99.3 Nigeria Info. This is the nation's number one talk news and sports radio station. We're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Maryann Okon, Victoria Island, Lagos. Welcome to the Big Hard Facts. I did tell you that we will be having Olakunle Soriyan with us in the studio. He's joined us via Zoom, ladies and gentlemen. But first, let me start by laying the foundation for this conversation that we're about to have. I've had conversations about Nigeria for the past week, and for me, I think today's conversation is going to be really important and pivotal to whatever decisions we make going forward. Now, Nigeria is not short of potentials. We know this. We're rich in people, we're rich in talent, in culture, in spirit, but every new day brings the same old problems. Poverty that multiplies, schools that crumble, hospitals that fail, leaders that divide us, and followers who settle for less. We actually have that chant of, it go better, it is well, God will help us. Yet decades have passed and nothing changes. So the question is, what exactly is wrong with us? Is it the system? Is it our leaders? Maybe is it all of us? Anyway, today we ask the hard questions about Nigeria's future, about our economy, security, healthcare, etc., etc. But more importantly, we ask about who we are as a people, because just maybe the crisis isn't just out there, it probably is within us. And my guest is I like to call him a change maker, but he wears many hats. Some days he's a preacher, some other days he's an author, a writer, a thought leader. Olakunle Soriyan is a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, and I like to call him a change maker. It's so good to have you join us on Hard Facts today. I know that you literally just got in, and it is my privilege to have you on Hard Facts. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's my blessing and honor to be here. I'm sure I'll love every minute of it.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. So Lagos, you're listening to Hard Facts. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM, so you can be part of the conversation. And you can, if you have the Nigeria Info FM mobile app, you can take us everywhere you go. Let's start with framing the problem and looking at leadership versus systems. Let me start with Chinua Achebe's very famous words. The trouble in Nigeria is simply and squarely a failure of leadership. Now, I'd like to ask you, do you believe that leadership crisis is the one that we face right now is a problem of the elite? Does it reflect maybe a deeper cultural problem or systemic breakdown? Or is it one that includes, us as followers being part of the problem?
So, I have a different perspective to how leadership works, and I'm sure so many people will disagree with me. So I'm always prepared for that. My thinking is that, particularly for the territorial integrity of a country, when you look at geography within the limits of a nation state, the parable that I like to share when I'm confronted with this distinction is the idea that you have a basket of raw eggs, just a large basket of raw eggs. And then every 4 years, you go to the basket to pick 4 eggs to represent the basket in a frying pan. And then you break the eggs into the frying pan, and they are all rotten eggs. And then you are pissed off, you are angry, you didn't like the results you got. You went back into the basket to pick another 4 randomly. Throw them all into the frying pan. They are all rotten eggs. You are livid, you are mad, you are angry, disappointed. You went to the basket again, picked another 4. And you put in the fry pan rotten eggs. And for 60 years, or 50 years, or 70 years, or whatever time, you've been going to this basket to pick 4 eggs to represent the basket. And every time they land in the fry pan, they are all rotten eggs, right? They say insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, that you keep going to this basket, and every time you pick eggs from this basket, they are all rotten eggs. So maybe the basket itself is a basket of rotten eggs, such that it doesn't matter how many eggs you pick from it, the basket has a problem. The eggs in there, because Nigerian leadership is not important. The leadership is not outsourced. Essentially, it evolved from the people. So I find it difficult, therefore, to make a distinction between the leadership that represent the people and essentially the collective character of the people. I will have to define them as one. So I struggle to accept a leadership problem in that kind of context. I think we have a people problem.
Lovely. In other words, you're saying that thing that everyone says, that we're deserving of the kind of leaders that we have. Are you buying into that narrative?
Think we deserve it. I don't think we deserve it, because that would be unfair on the resources, attention, and growth and prosperity that our collective individuality deserves, right? Just because I am not able to understand or to do the work that will make me prosperous, and I became poor, does not mean I deserve poverty, right? Whatever it is that has not helped me to understand how much control and how much power I have, right, will not make me deserving of the consequence of not understanding my power. Okay, so I wouldn't say we deserve it, but I recognize that we created it.
Let me give you some statistics, and then I'll ask my next question. Today, over 130 million Nigerians live in multidimensional poverty. I'm sure you're aware of this. We have a soaring inflation for the first time in years, double digit. The Naira is struggling. Debt servicing is consuming at least 80%, if not 90% of our revenue. How much of this economic failure can be blamed on poor leadership? And what kind of leadership mindset do we need as a people to turn things around? Because, I mean, we can spend all day talking about our problems, but what do we need to do to begin to see things differently?
I have to be very honest with this answer, because I don't think the government is doing less than they should be doing in terms of the decisions they are making, the policies they're making, the legislations that are backing all of that up. I think, as a matter of fact, a lot of intelligent decisions have been made, right? But I also think that we can't look at the Nigerian situation or even the African situation in isolation, in such that we can choose to be awake in 2025 and pretend that we have not lived for 60 years, and that so many decisions and different governments have made a lot of poor decisions that has brought us to where we are. I will make bold to say that I don't have a problem with this government. I support the subsidy. I support a lot of the efforts. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of that, because we will never agree on them. But what I know is that I have no issues with the way the government is being led right now. If I have an issue, you won't believe what it is. I just think the government officials themselves are not making enough personal sacrifice to inspire Nigerians to rally around the amazing initiatives and ideas that they are launching. I think government officials are overpaid, both at the executive and the legislative level. I think anybody who thinks they're not overpaid is too hungry to be in government. We don't need takers right now, we need givers. And so if you are a professional politician, such that you have to earn your biggest money and create your highest financial peace through government, you don't belong there, right? So the people are making a lot of sacrifices because the masses of our people are very ignorant. They don't understand why they are making the sacrifices, nor do they even understand the sacrifices they are making. The National Orientation Agency, I don't know what they do, but obviously they are not communicating with Nigerians enough to really allow the Nigerian people to understand some of the most altruistic decisions the government is making, to see the value of some of the things they are doing. And deeper than that, honestly, I think that they cannot even see the attitude or behavior of sacrifice from those demanding it. I think that will be, for me, a bigger problem, right? And if Nigerians are great people, I don't know if you know or you've done some of the studies, but we are one of the most hopeful people in the world. We are the easiest to inspire. We are the easiest to rally around an idea. That is why we don't do well with things like revolutions and stuff like that, because every Nigerian is full of hope. He believes, I can do something better. I can create something. We have some of the best industrious creative spirits in the whole world, right? We need to begin to architect the type of understanding that help the vast majority of our people to really understand that. And for that, I also think that entrepreneurs, innovators, and nonprofits are the people that I look up to as far as the salvation of Nigeria or Africa or any nation state is concerned. I don't know countries that have been made prosperous by governments, right? So I don't know anyone. So the governments in Nigeria, in Africa, are overrated. In the United States, people don't depend on the government to grow things. They depend on the government to regulate things. The government also needs to tax those who do things. And the government needs to make enabling environment for those who do stuff. But those who really do stuff, who transform the economy, who do great things in society, are entrepreneurs, innovators, and civil society. And they are the most respected, sacred group in the United States. I think the only thing that is next to that in the United States will be the military. Those who are active in military service, and they are veterans, right? In Nigeria, it's the opposite. In most so-called third world countries, it's the opposite. The government is the most prioritized, even by everyday citizens. Everybody believes in what the government can do than what the next door entrepreneur or startup founder can do, right? So I think that is the type of education that has to go viral, has to scale. And I don't think it's the hand of the government. Again, I think that a lot of civil society groups, beyond just trying to help people have food and feeding the poor, I think we need to begin to feed the conscious in our environment. There's another food, which is solical food, sense, that elites need to understand, right? Every time I go to a new country, and I travel a lot because of my job, and I land in new environments that I've never been before a lot of times. One of the things I do when I land there is to pick the daily newspapers and to go straight to the cover, what is on the cover of the newspapers. You know why? Because if you get to any environment, you must understand that whatever is on the cover of the papers, on the radio, on the news, whatever is on the cover is the most pressing issues in that society. Because they put you guys know your job as media, as as press, you know what you do. Whatever you put on the front cover is what people really want to know about. People want to pay for, people want to get. Now, when you go to a third world country where the vast majority of the people don't read the newspapers, don't buy the newspapers, don't listen to the news, who listens to the news? The elites are the ones who buy the newspapers. They are the ones who follow the media at that level, right? I'm not talking of social media in the hands of the average Gen Z, playing and loving and all of that. I'm talking about, serious exchange, right? On the media, the cover of Guardian, the news that you read and all of that. So it is the elites who do that. So when you go to any third world country and you pick the same newspaper, whatever you see on the cover is the revelation of the thinking of the elites of that society, because the publisher knows that whatever I put on the cover is what will be paid for. So these guys are the ones paying for the news. So if they are the ones paying for the news, then we have to give them what they want to read. So, but when you come to Nigeria and you look at some of the things on the cover, it tells you the quality of thinking of our elites. Our elites don't think, right? Again, it brings us back to, let me give you an example. Some years ago, there was a bomb blast in Yanya in Abuja, and body parts were all over the place. The police got there, they cordoned off the place, and they were picking, body parts, blood samples, saliva, and stuff like that. And then the cover of newspapers across Nigeria the next day is that bomb blast in the area, police are there, they are taking, forensic evidence. I'm like, and this is news. And everybody, they put it on the front cover. That means that they are confident that this will be newsworthy for those who are reading it, which is the elites. Except that, excuse me, if they collect all the blood samples in that place, what are they going to go and compare it to? Is there a central database of Nigerians that has our DNA, our fingerprints, our blood? So this is just labelless. They're just doing nothing, right? But it made the news. So that right there is the quality of the thinking of our elites. So again, a people problem. A people problem. I
have so many questions, but I want to go on a quick break. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, you made mention of the fact that our leaders or the elites themselves, or like, you don't have a problem with, the policies and the programs of this government, but some of those policies have kept us where we are. For example, subsidy is gone. But let's come back from the break and we'll continue. Olakunle Soriyan is here with us on Hard Facts. We'll be right back, Lagos.
Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
My people, Binato, they celebrate anniversary as correct thank you to all our customers there. For the whole month of August, all Binato dealer will give you 10% discount for any Binato product where you buy. Now, while stock lasts, offer go end 31st August. Not do yourself, waka go any Binato dealer within you today. Buy correct, buy Binato. Binato, simply better.
Feeling under the weather? Tired of getting sick? Immunase from Vitabiotics can help. Immunase is a supplement packed with vitamins and minerals like vitamin D, zinc, and selenium that support your immune system. With Immunase, you can boost your natural defenses and fight infections, reduce your occurrence of illnesses, enjoy faster recovery, and better energy levels. Immunase from Vitabiotics, trusted partner to keep you healthy. Available at pharmacies near you.
This is not just football. This is JJ Ball X, the game where every doggo, every race counts. Here, your football skills pay off. As you raise the ball, you fit dey raise your account balance. So if you think you're the next JJ and it's sure for you, get on the BetKing app. Use the promo code JJBollex. Tap on casino. Click on JJ Bollex to play and start winning. Remember, not for persons under the age of 18. Play responsibly.
There's only one destination to go to for your Geely vehicle service now, and that's the new representative, Koscharis Motors. Geely has found a new home. If you've had your Geely vehicle for 3 years or more, we would like to invite you to continue the thrill with Koscharis Motors. Book your service at Koscharis Motors to experience a more professional after-sales by certified Geely technicians. For appointment booking, call or WhatsApp 0802 772 5779. Koscharis Motors. Value for money.
No be party jollof this thing.
Abeg, make nothing hungry you again today.
I am pregnant wife they follow talk so.
Neighbor,
abeg neighbor, just one spoon.
No wahala.
Chef, what be your secret?
Now, Mr. Chef Seasoning Powder. Mr. Chef Seasoning Powder get spicy stew, goat meat, fried rice, and roasted beef from great aroma to great taste.
Elevate every meal with Mr. Chef Seasoning Powder. Chef.
Hey, party people. Jollof, gone. Pounded yam, gone. But water, unfinished bottles, abandoned like suya wrapper. Now, with the 33cl bottle, no waste, no wahala.
The new 33cl bottle. Big enough to refresh, small enough to finish. And thanks to our trusted 13-step quality process, every drop is refreshingly safe. Nestle Pure Life Premium Drinking Water. Source of hydration you can trust.
Hey, rewards don't land.
When I buy airtime and data on any network,
I get up to 10% cash back.
I pay my NEPA, DSTV, or StarTimes on call.
3% cash back.
Now so, Smart Cash back, don't get reloaded.
And they load my wallet.
Hey, it's the Smart Cashback Reloaded. Top up airtime or data on any network and get up to 10% cashback. Or pay your electricity or cable TV bill and get 3% cashback sharply. Only on Smart Cash. No dull yourself. Download the Smart Cash app or dial *939# to start today.
Terms and conditions, they shall.
This taste na banger, this taste na creamy rich, this taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1. Thickness, enjoyment, yumminess, happiness, delightfulness, deliciousness, smoothness. This taste na new Nescafe, original 3-in-1.
Enjoy more creamy richness with the new Nescafe Original 3-in-1 in the new pack. That's strong, finish strong.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir?
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
This is Nigeria, where every new day brings a fresh chance to dream bigger, push harder, and live confidently. But true confidence is more than hope. It's knowing that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, you're protected, empowered, and ready for the journey ahead. At Sanlam Alliance, we believe confidence isn't just for a few, it's the right of everyone. That's why we have come together, uniting the strength of a Pan-African giant and a global leader to give you the financial protection and solutions you need to succeed. Because when we come together, we protect more, we achieve more, and we all rise together. Sanlam and Alliance is now Sanlam Alliance. Sanlam Alliance. Live with confidence.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hatfact. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories, you know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, we're back. 32 minutes come past the 5 o'clock hour. It's still the Big Hard Fact on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Olakunle Soriyan is with us in the studio. I've got so many text messages. People saying, "Oh, that's my guy. I love him." Okay, yeah. He's here. He's here in the studio with us. Now, before we went on that break, I said something about policies. You said something about policies, and the fact that there's a lot of ignorance in society. And, I think earlier today, someone sent a message saying that, there's so many distractions from the issues that affect us. And we're talking about APCs, ADC, PDP, as opposed to talking about issues that affect us, and that we, the media, seem to be playing into the hands of these politicians. I agree and I disagree to an extent. But when you talk about policies of this government, some people would say there's some intelligence and great policies. But for the subsidy situation, there are those who would tell you that it's okay for subsidy to be removed because it's something that had to be done. But in doing that, what were the cushioning effects that were put in place? Was it just something that they did in a hurry? I mean, because that's what set us back here, whether we like it or not, where we are right now with the double-digit inflation. Whatever palliatives that they've continued to give has not been able to scratch the surface. Nigerians, the average Nigerian is poorer than ever. Yesterday, Chimamanda Adichie said that the middle class is now begging. Well, I beg to differ. There is no middle class. It's either you're extremely rich or you're extremely poor. And I fall in the category of people who are poor. So again, what are you telling me about those policies?
So first of all, you are not poor. I can tell you for free, by the UN definition of poverty, you are at worst lower middle class.
There is no middle class.
But you are middle class.
There is no middle class. There is none.
So, but I hear you. You know, let me. If you know my work, you know what the last thing I want to do is to worry about government. I don't worry about governments. I worry about entrepreneurs as far as nation building is concerned. And I'm not saying that government does not have its role, but some people should worry about that. I don't worry about government. I worry about entrepreneurs, innovators, and civil society. Because as far as I'm concerned, those are the three most compelling quantities in any economy. And when they are conscious enough and they organize themselves better, they compel the government of the day to make policies that suit their own positioning. It's just the way it works. It is the compelling creativity and initiatives of those three groups that really direct the soul of legislation in any country, right? But in Nigeria, it's just the opposite. But what I want to leave here very strongly, and I want to ask you a question. I've followed critics in Nigeria, social critics, you know, people who criticize governments, who do all of that in Nigeria, the press, the media. I'm 54 years old now, so I'm not some young boy trying to find his meaning, right? 54, 5 years, 10 years, 5 times with some extra. And I've lived this life as a Nigerian, despite my global expressions. What I've not seen, have you seen anybody that criticizes a governor in Nigeria for any form of policy? Is that popular? Is that something you see a lot? I don't see that. I've listened to some of the greatest critics in Nigeria. I've gone back to check what they've talked about. Governors in Nigeria get away. Governors, local government chair people, councillors, chairmen, and governors especially. Nobody talks about them. Nobody criticizes them. Every Nigerian criticizes the president. Is the president. I don't know the sense in that. I think it's one of the most unintelligent things going on in our country and those who hold the system accountable. Nobody talks about governors. Nobody criticizes governors. Nobody says anything about governors. But do you know that the most powerful quantity with the capacity to bring the dividends of democracy to the people is actually the governors as opposed to the president? And do you know that the bulk, first of all, there's no way you are going to remove subsidy, whether you remove it on time or later. No, there's no way you are not going to do that. That is not going to impact on the people negatively, because the subsidy was covering for something, right? It was making something that is either though probably expensive, cheaper. It was bringing ease, not because of the absence of complexity. Subsidy is what allows you not to experience the complexity. It's not that it's not there. So if you remove it, it's just like when there's light in the studio right now. There's darkness in that room as well. You don't see the darkness because of the overwhelming effect of light. Once you take off the light, the darkness doesn't stroll in and say, oh, I'm coming in. The darkness is there, just waiting for light to go. Once light goes, darkness shows up. So the discomfort has been there all along. Subsidy, that's what subsidy does. Anywhere, it covers for that. Now that they took it away, there's no way it's not going to impact on the people. I find some form of hypocrisy in admitting that this subsidy needs to go. Most people agree on that. Most pundits agree on that. Everybody agrees that it needs to go. But everybody is stunned about the effect of it. And I don't, and please, this is not to discount the reality of the economic action that the Nigerian people are facing. And this is not to even say we can get smarter. Maybe timing, you can talk about all of that. But the reality is that it needed to go. Whichever time, there's no effect. There's no cushioning effect you are going to bring in. There will still be a direct impact on the people. I think the conversation was poor. I can list so many things. I think the mobilization, the preparation for the Nigerian people for that was very poor. The dissemination was very weak, right? And impractical. I can bring all the criticisms, but the reality is, right now, governors are taking more money because of subsidy. I can be fact-checked on that. Then what do governors do with this money? Will we criticize the president for 20 years? We may be right. We can be right. The question is, there's another constituency that must face this accountability. In fact, even more as far as subsidy is concerned. Somebody said, why give the money to governors? Because they are going to spend the money. No, it's their constitutional right to receive this money. It's not like the president has a choice not to give them the money. He must give them the money. So if they get the money, what is being done? Who is holding governors accountable? Who is asking for how this money is being spent? Because the bulk of that will bring even more relief, more than anything that can be done at the macro level with the federal government.
Okay, I like how you're playing into my next question. And I have so many questions, but I don't have too much time. So I'm going to try to piece them all together. You talk about, asking for accountability. And again, I'm going to bring the president into the mix because they're all public office holders. For every time that Nigerians seem to want to ask for accountability, there's a clamping down. Make of that what you will. And I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. There's a clamping down on the people. As you have said, yes, people are becoming more aware that they need to not just go across to the president, but talk to their governors, their local government chairman. But these people have become so inaccessible. Secondly, they're taking Nigerians for a ride, as you have said, by distracting us. There's so many distractions out there. Even though there's still a group of people who are saying we don't care about the distractions. What have you done with our monies? Let's use Lagos for example. There's so many things that are going wrong in Lagos, and we have a governor, but half the time, what is thrown into the mix is divisive politics. Oh, it's the Igbo people in Lagos. It's the Calabar people in Lagos that are making Lagos dirty. That's where I'm going to. Divisive politics, which also is a distraction and a, throwing us a curveball of sorts so that we decide to look the other way. How do we maneuver, through all of these tactics, especially the divisive politics that's at play right now?
I'm going to say this with deep respect, with a lot of humility, with the deepest respect. I can't demonstrate it. I can't kneel down. I can't prostrate for the audience, right? But I must say that the media, the press in Nigeria, honestly, are the ones that I hold accountable. Because you know what? We don't talk about the issues. We don't discuss, we don't write, we don't put anything on the table. I don't know any nation that can be stronger than the narrative of its press. I really don't know. And when I look at what the press is saying, the divisive politics you are talking about, don't forget that the conversations, the instrument for this, we're not in America, where the vast majority of the people understand GDP, they understand jobs, they understand per capita income. That's what we're talking of Nigerians. So the people who even understand these divisive policies, the divisive politics, are conscious people like you and I, who essentially are the ones that the media touch on a daily basis, right? The conversation is not even happening. I just said something very important. I say to you that in any country, see, Texas is bigger than Nigeria. The economy of Texas is bigger than the economy of Canada. I'm talking of Canada as a country, which is why it was easy for Donald Trump to say become a state, because Texas, which is just a state, if Texas was a country, it probably would be, I think, the 10th, as at my last check, the 10th or the 11th largest economy in the world, right? If Lagos was a country, Lagos would be, as at my last check, the 7th largest economy in Africa. 7th, more than so many countries in Africa. If Lagos, I think the economy of the island, as at my last check, which is a long time ago, is bigger than the economy of Ghana. So when you're looking at these instruments, right, you can't take your eyes off everybody living in Nigeria. 90% of those who leave Nigeria to travel to the UAE are not aware they are traveling to the UAE. They say, I'm traveling to Dubai. I want to go get Dubai visa. There's nothing like Dubai visa. There's UAE visa. You don't go to Dubai in that sense. You go to UAE. Dubai is just a small part of the UAE. But you see, UAE has been so branded. There's so much movement. There's so much economic movement in Dubai that prioritizes the equity that it represents in the minds of so many people, right? You can't take these things away. There is no way, therefore, you are going to continue. There is a leader in the UAE. There's somebody that controls the country. Quite frankly, a lot of people don't even know that leader as they know Dubai, right? So it is impossible for us to continue to think that we can hold the system, I mean to use that word, accountable without holding the key actors. I don't think there is no precedent. Now it's clear for those who can see. It has always been clear, it has always been true. No president can save any country, more so Nigeria, right? The people who are closer, so we don't have the conversation is the issue. That's what I'm saying. We don't discuss the issues, right? So there's no way.
We are discussing the issues right now. And we do it every other day. We're discussing the issues right now. We discuss it every day. I wanted to ask, I wanted to bust in quickly to say, when you say the media, are you talking about the general media? Because there's several media outlets that have these conversations. Maybe the print is printing because they want to get to a certain...
No. When you listen to, I hate to mention names, and I will avoid that as much as I can, because I think I have my own agenda in the world and I'm busy running it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't distract myself with what's going on, what's happening around me. I'm focused on what's going on. That's what I'm doing. And that might sound selfish, but that's the reality. But when I say media, I do mean that which is most compelling production from the general media. Do you know that a foolish person acts wise as well? A foolish person acts very wise occasionally. He acts foolish most of the time, and he acts wise occasionally. So he has a reputation, a track record for foolish action. It's not like he doesn't act wise. So they say he's a foolish person, right? So if the media has a problem, there's always a remnant doing the right things, talking about the right things. We're talking about the general experience that we have from the media, regardless of the few who are doing the right things, which we recognize, right? But even you go on popular media platforms, and even on the set, right there on the set, you find 3 people that you wonder who is paying these guys. You see one is speaking directly for a particular political officer. You see another one is speaking directly for another political officer. You see one, and these are all partisan. You see, I'm a Yoruba man. In the West where I come from, we have a proverb. It says that Olori Ebi Konshoselu, that is, the head of the family cannot be partisan, basically. So, for example, if I'm a pastor, I cannot say everybody should vote PDP or APC, because in my church I have APC, I have Labour, I have everybody. So I have to take care of everybody, right? I have to be, if I am a pastor. So as the head of the family, which is what I see the media as, the media is the head of the family. You can't afford to be partisan. You can't ignore any narrative. You cannot support anybody. You are for the truth and what works for the peace and integrity and the prosperity of our geography, right? I don't see that. And it breaks my heart, because if I find hope for the people, and the chance for the people to even know what is going on, the media is their last hope. It's the media, right? Okay. Do you know the institutions I rate side by side? The media, the judiciary, the police force, the military, the courts. Those are the institutions I rate side by side.
I wish I had time, right? So we could go into all of those, but we don't have time. I really, really wish that we had time. And Lagosians want to call in. Lagos, so I'm going to open up the phone lines for just 5 minutes because that's all I have. 30 seconds, just go straight to the point. There's so much to, unearth, permit me to use that word loosely, to unearth when it comes to the names that you've mentioned. But you see, because traditional media might have certain restrictions, social media is now the bane for the divisive politics. It's there every day. And the people who are being used for this divisive politics are somewhat people that you would rate in society. And these are people who are being used on social media, not in traditional media, because we have those restrictions. But it's a conversation for another day. The phone lines are open.
Another day. But can I just say something in a minute?
Yes, please.
So some things are constants and are facts. Nobody should organize to solve a fact. You solve problems. If you try to solve a fact, it's the beginning of lunacy. Loss, disappointment, propaganda, divisions, divisiveness, all these things are constants. It's like rigging. It's like when I hear people come say, "Oh, I was rigged out of the election." I'm like, really? So you lost the election. You are going to come out to say you were rigged in Nigeria as an adult. So you were stunned that there was rigging. So you were coming to an election. So you are planning on the morality of your opponent, not to rig for you to win. So what plan did you have? So you were shocked that so they are going to rig. That's a fact. What is your plan for that? If you don't have a plan for that, you shouldn't have come out in the first place. So I want to say that divisive politics is a constant. It's our strategy. See something I say. You can't.
But that's a strategy that's destroying us, whether we like it or not. It's a terrible strategy.
Must have a strategy to counter that. We must have a strategy to counter that. You see, that's the point I'm making. Okay. You see, the only response is on intelligence to respond to certainty with fear or concern or worry. Your only two attitudes you have towards certainty is preparation and strategy. Some death is sure. There's no point being afraid of it. Your only response is preparation and strategy.
Okay.
So in the same way, people are going to divide. You should know that. And if you are trying to build, you should ask yourself, when these things start, what is my own response? Do you know that what we call advertisement, we say advertise, is a very positive name for a corporate name for propaganda? It's propaganda. Everything is propaganda.
Let's take a few calls.
People must learn to organize their own propaganda that allows them to communicate their good as opposed to sitting down, pointing fingers and hoping that morality will be on the side of the adversary. It doesn't work like that.
Interesting take. Lagos, let's hear your thoughts. 30 seconds, please go straight to the point. Hello.
Hi, Maryann.
30 seconds.
No problem. The narrative has started changing. I understand the fact that your guest is saying most times you pass the buck to the president, leaving the governors and the local government chairmen behind. But then the narrative has started changing. It's no longer like that. This divisive politics and ethnic tribal card that they play administration after administration can only be stopped if Nigerians are intentional about unshackling themselves from the grip of those in power. Except we get to that point in time, abject poverty and every other thing would continue to rule us.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello?
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 30 seconds, please.
Adetara from Ikoyi.
Go ahead.
Your guest, beautiful. It was just spot on. And I'm really ashamed of myself that I've not heard of him before. Everything he has been saying since we've been intervening was just spot on. God bless him. My regards to him. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. I can take one quick call. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, good evening.
Your name and where you're calling from. 30 seconds.
Yeah, my name is Thomas, calling from Victoria Island. Your guest, proving subsidy, they came back in it. Jonathan was in government for over 4 to 6 years. He understands the subsidy. He knows he made the arrangement of grant. Before his government proposed the removal of subsidy, fuel will move to 100 and something naira. The people today in power there is nothing. There's nothing called subsidy. They come here in Ojota protecting her.
You have 5 seconds, sir. 5 seconds. What's your question?
Today, the government, the president comes in power, even enter the office to study it and not very well, just say subsidy is gone, and he is trying to defend it today. So what happened when they were protesting against Jonathan when he had proposed the removal of subsidy?
All right. On that note, I'm going to let you just closing comments. He's just saying that, look, Jonathan had done a study as to, at the time he wanted to remove subsidy. He understood, that there would be cushioning effects and blah, blah, blah. But then the government of today, or the president today and his friends were the people who actually, canvassed against it. And then when he came into office, he just removed the subsidy without, taking into cognizance all of the things that needed to be done. That's his case. And he's saying that, why did they make that case? But I have just 30 seconds and I just want to, end on that note. I wish that we can bring you back here in person. You have to come back.
We'll do it again, trust me.
We have to. Olakunle Soriyan has been with us on Hard Facts today. I had to drag him to come on the show. He has so many things that he's doing, very, very important things. But we love that you came on the show and talked to us. Thank you so much for being here. Come back again sometime soon.
I will.
All right. Lagos, that's the show. We want to thank you all for being part of the conversation. Don't forget, if you want to watch a playback of this interview, go on our YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. My name is Maryann Okon. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, MIMIEYO. I love you, Lagos. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
There's only one destination to go to for your Geely vehicle service now, and that's the new representative.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens.